my reliable and patient Taurus friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. Taurus, this week finds you quietly holding a question beneath the surface. There's a familiar ache between craving stability and feeling that unmistakable urge to step into something new. You might notice it in the smallest ways: a pause before saying yes, a cautious glance toward a road you've never taken, or the subtle tension in your chest when the world asks you to loosen your grip. You are known for your steady hands, your patience, your ability to shape comfort from even the roughest material. Yet now there's an undercurrent, a restlessness that carries both hope and uncertainty. You may not speak it aloud, but it colors your mornings and lingers in your thoughts. It's the quiet wondering of whether you can want more and what you might risk if you reach for it. Even as you do your best to keep life grounded, you sense that something is shifting. There's a discomfort in the waiting, a vulnerability in not knowing how things will play out, and at the root of it all is the wish to stay true to yourself, even as the ground beneath your feet feels a little less solid. Inside you, a newness stirs, gentle but insistent. The Fool appears here, not as a symbol of recklessness, but as a whisper in your bones, reminding you that beginnings are not just for the impulsive. You carry questions, Taurus, but also a hidden courage. This week, you are not defined by certainty, but by the willingness to stand at the edge of what you know. There's a sense of openness blooming, even if you feel wobbly inside. It is not about ignoring the risks, nor pretending you have no fears. It's about letting yourself feel the pull of possibility, even while your mind lists all the reasons to wait. You may notice yourself longing for fresh air or for a break in routine, an urge to try something small and untested. Maybe you feel both excited and uneasy, a mixture of anticipation and reluctance. The ground is unfamiliar, but there's a part of you that wants to trust it anyway. There's a quiet hopefulness in your gaze, a willingness to imagine that the next step could reveal something meaningful. This is not a leap into chaos. It is a gentle leaning into what comes next. You are not leaving yourself behind. Instead, you're bringing your whole self, doubts and all, into the space where new chapters begin. There's a sweetness in not knowing, a quiet pride in admitting you don't have all the answers. You are emotionally ready, even if your mind is still catching up. The tension you feel is not a flaw. It is evidence that you care deeply about what comes next. And beneath the surface flutter there is a steady heartbeat. You are allowed to start again, even if you are still afraid. That willingness to consider new ground gives way to movement, Taurus. When uncertainty stirs within, it doesn't just sit quietly. It calls out for response. Your inner state, that gentle but persistent curiosity, sets events in motion. Even the smallest shift in your openness changes the way the world meets you. You become sensitive to new information, alert to the words and actions of others, more aware of possibility. It is not dramatic, but it is real. The questions you carry begin to influence your choices. An opportunity might catch your eye, a conversation leaves you turning over fresh ideas, or perhaps you find yourself drawn to ask a question you'd normally keep inside. The internal tension you've been carrying ripples outward, nudging you to interact with your environment in new ways. The act of considering a new start means you notice doors you hadn't seen before. The world feels a little less fixed. You may feel a pressure to make sense of things, or a sense that you are being tested by the questions that arise. This transition is not about sudden decisions, but about the slow, steady way that inner openness shapes the path ahead. Now, as the week unfolds, the Page of Swords steps onto your path. This isn't a whirlwind, it's a gentle breeze that stirs the leaves, inviting you to pay attention. There's a heightened alertness in the air. You may notice that people around you are more direct, or that situations seem to demand clarity. Questions arise both from within and from others. You might feel tested by small challenges or called to explain yourself in ways that feel vulnerable. The world is looking for your input, your perspective, your willingness to participate. Sometimes this brings friction, misunderstandings, or the uncomfortable feeling of being observed. There's momentum here, a sense that things are moving whether you're ready or not. You could find your mind racing, ideas tumbling over each other, trying to make sense of new information. There's a pressure to respond, to communicate, to be honest about what you want. Yet, beneath any nerves, there's also the thrill of discovery. You are learning what it feels like to stand in the open, to handle uncertainty with clarity. People may challenge your ideas, or you might be pushed to clarify your intentions. This isn't about conflict for its own sake. It's about the friction that comes with growth. The week asks you to stay present, to notice how your words land, to embrace the discomfort that comes with speaking your truth. Every question, every challenge is a way to sharpen your understanding of what you want. The external pressures you feel are not obstacles, they are invitations to engage more fully. Even if you don't always feel ready, you are capable of meeting the moment. The momentum is real and it wants your participation. Through this, you learn that your voice matters and that your willingness to be seen is a form of courage all its own. It's in these moments, the friction, the uncertainty, the back and forth with the world, that real potential opens up. But it doesn't happen automatically. Growth waits for your conscious presence. If you move through the week on autopilot, the external pressures might feel overwhelming, the questions too sharp. But when you meet each moment with curiosity and honesty, something different becomes possible. The path is not about perfection, but about presence. The world reflects what you bring to it. Your willingness to engage, to ask questions, to respond with authenticity, shapes what can unfold. The more you show up uncertain but open, the more space you create for new possibilities to emerge. Your growth depends on meeting each challenge as an invitation, not a threat. The Queen of Wands emerges here, not as a destination, but as an unfolding invitation. Her energy is warm, self-assured, and quietly magnetic. This is what becomes possible when you meet the week with intention. You discover a confidence that isn't loud or performative, but steady and deeply rooted. There's a new ease in your interactions, a sense that you can hold your ground without needing to control everything. You find yourself more at home in your skin, more comfortable with what you know and what you don't. The questions that once felt intimidating become opportunities to express yourself with clarity. There's a natural warmth in your presence, a quiet authority that others notice. You are not trying to prove anything. You are simply allowing yourself to be seen, to participate, to lead by example. This is not about forcing outcomes or demanding attention. It's about embodying the energy of someone who trusts their own spark. Even when things are uncertain, you are invited to bring your whole self to each moment, to allow your passion and wisdom to guide you. The growth that unfolds is not about achieving something specific, but about discovering what it feels like to be fully present, fully engaged, and fully yourself. The invitation is simple. Let your genuine energy lead and notice how the world responds. There is power in your presence, Taurus. When you show up with openness and warmth, you create space for new connections, new understandings, and new beginnings. Looking back over the week, a soft pattern emerges. You began with a quiet restlessness, an openness to new beginnings that felt both thrilling and uncertain. The Fool's whisper called you out of comfort, nudging you to consider what else might be possible. As your inner state shifted, the world responded. The Page of Swords brought friction and momentum, not as obstacles, but as invitations to participate more fully. Challenges and questions became opportunities for honesty and growth. Through it all, you discovered the possibility of embodying the Queen of Wands, holding your ground with gentle confidence, letting your presence speak for itself. The story of your week is not about dramatic change, but about the subtle, meaningful shifts that happen when you meet each moment with curiosity and care. You are not being asked to abandon your roots, Taurus. Instead, you are invited to let them nourish your willingness to grow. There is reassurance here. You are capable of handling uncertainty, of moving through friction with grace, of discovering new strengths. The week may not always be comfortable, but it is rich with possibility. By being present, by responding honestly, by trusting your own warmth and wisdom, you find your way forward. There is no need for grand declarations or sudden leaps. Each small, conscious choice weaves your story together, bringing a sense of calm resolution. You can trust this unfolding, Taurus. You are right where you need to be. Actionable insights for Taurus this week. Try letting yourself ask a question you've been holding back, just to see how it feels. Notice what happens when you gently share a worry or hope with someone you trust. Allow yourself a moment to enjoy something unfamiliar, even if it feels uncertain at first. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I am ready for beginnings, even if I am unsure. Every question I ask brings me closer to myself. My presence matters, even on uncertain days. I grow one steady breath at a time. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.